All right, Katso, I'm going to be reading from something, so do like macro shots at the beginning. I'm telling you to do macro shots, but Jory, film macro shots for the beginning, but you put them at the beginning. Here we have a stunning watch from Seiko's Presage series. Fairly uncommon, with a ton to look at, and with a somewhat hefty price tag to go along with it. We're talking about all of this in today's review of the Seiko SARF011. I sounded like a robot there. Here's the deal, guys. I wanted to say the SARF011, but it sounds like barf, and so I didn't. The SARF011 GMT Ocean Traveler. If you couldn't tell already, we don't really take anything that seriously here, and if you love watches and want to hang out with other people that just love watches, then please consider subscribing and hitting that bell. And while you're at it, go ahead and find the like button and give it a tin of those delicious Royal Dansk cookies. And when they open it, make sure that there's just a sewing kit inside. I hate when that happens. It is 2:57 p.m. Let's get down to business. Here we have a titanium case and bracelet. Again, when we think Seiko Presage, we don't really think of anything but stainless steel or like, you know, a plated stainless steel. 40 millimeters by 47.8 millimeters. So that lug to lug, a bit hefty. 14.6 millimeters thick. You're getting a 6R64 automatic movement. Now this movement runs about plus 25 to minus 15 seconds per day, GMT complication, a date complication, and a power reserve indicator on the dial. You're getting a 100 meter water resistance rating and a sapphire, so no hardlex on this. Man, okay, so if there were ever proof that Seiko produces really functional watches with stunning dials that just have a whole bunch to look at and just crazy amounts of detail, this would be it. But guys, as always, it's not perfect. So we're gonna jump into the pros and cons. We're gonna talk about this watch, and it is like almost there. It is almost like the perfect everyday sporty dressy watch. So the pros: titanium, all day long, everywhere. Bracelet, case, clasp, really freaking cool. It just feels incredible. And it's really fun to see Seiko's Presage line come out with something that's not stainless steel. Again, the bracelet, incredibly impressive. Next pro would be the complications, right? GMT, let's say you travel a lot, or you have someone in another country that you want to keep tabs on. Like, I set my GMTs to UK because we have so many people from the UK watching this channel. I just need to know when you guys are in bed. I want to know when you're sleeping. You're getting a date complication, which is probably more usable every day than GMT. And you're getting a power reserve indicator on the dial, which I like. I know a lot of people hate power reserve indicators. That's kind of one complication that is either love it or hate it. I think it's really cool. I absolutely love that you're getting a sapphire crystal because that just kind of nips it in the bud to everyone that hates hardlex. I have no issue with hardlex. I'm wearing my Seiko Tuna SBBN 031 and have never had an issue with this hardlex at all. But guess what? This Ocean Traveler, it has sapphire, so no complaining. And the final pro would be that, the dial, right? Obviously, we have to talk about the dial. But with the good comes the bad. So here's the cons. First con, you are getting a 100 meter water resistance rating, but for a watch that is titled the Ocean Traveler, you would think it would be threaded, right? You'd think the crown would be threaded into the case. That's not the case. It's a push-pull crown. Now the crown does feel good. There's two very definitive crown settings. There's two very positive clicks. I'm not super worried about the crown opening and having, water get into the case, but still, it would make me feel even more confident that that won't happen if the crown can just thread into the case, right? That's what we all want. If it's called the Ocean Traveler, just give it a threaded crown. The next con would be that this watch is too thick, right? It's actually thicker than that MMI turret chronograph we just reviewed at the beginning of the week. So that's an actual full-fledged diver chronograph, and it was like 14.5 millimeters thick, and I complained that that one was too thick because it had a VK64 mecha quartz in it. This one, yes, it is automatic, and it has a GMT complication, date complication, power reserve, yada, yada, yada. There's a lot more going on in this watch, but it is too thick to be dressy. So if you're thinking Presage equals dress watch, that's not necessarily the case. The next con would be the 6R movement. Now I know, 6R, 6.4, great movement. People complained that, you know, when they were using the 4R movements in some of the watches, it's not really an upgrade. Why did they? Actually, I was one of the people complaining that the SARF011 has a 6R movement, and then when they came out with the Presages, they gave it the 4R movements, and I was like, what the heck? That's kind of a downgrade in my opinion. But here's my beef, okay? 4R, 6R, they're fine movements. But when you're spending the money that you're spending on this watch, which, drumroll please, is just under $1,500, can we please get a higher beat movement in this watch? Like 28,800 VPH, there are Swiss watchmakers like Tissot and other people, I'm sure. I think Tissot has one with a higher beat sweep for less money. There are other Swiss watchmakers probably in Swatch Group that are giving us watches with automatic movements that have higher beat sweeps. I think Seiko should start doing that, especially at this price point. So here's my takeaway. This is absolutely not truly an entry-level Seiko, because let's face it, those days are over. When I got all of my Presages, even my Fuyugashiki, it was not, you know, $1,500. However, you are getting a ton of very functional watch here. Titanium, GMT, date, power reserve, really impressive finishing, really nice dial, really great bracelets, and the truth is that if that dial had Swiss made printed on it, this would probably be much more than $1,500. So we do have to kind of keep that in mind. But what do you think about this watch, guys? Do any of you own this watch? Have any of you worn this watch or even seen one in the wild? Again, this is kind of one of the more obscure Seiko Presages out there. And thank you so much to one of my viewers, Jeff, who sent this in. Incredible watch. Thank you. I've had it for a while because he sent it to me when I had... And so I didn't want to unbox anything, and I wasn't even reviewing anything at the time. And so I kind of just chilled, and then I'm trying to knock down all of these reviews in quick succession so I can send people back their watches. So thank you so much, guys. Again, I have the best viewers in the world. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to support the channel and you don't take anything that seriously, but you love watches, then you're in the right place. Please consider subscribing. And again, find that like button. And Yo, dude, I'm filming, I'm on camera. Whatever you say is going to be on the mic. I'm filming. 1 second. My best friend Patrick just FaceTimed me, and he has a habit of calling me, knowing that I always answer the phone on speaker, and he says incredibly profane things. So Patrick, I know you're probably watching this episode because you've been my friend since we were children. I had to hang up on you. Twice right now, actually. What did I say to do to the like button? Before we were so rudely interrupted, what I want you to do is find the like button, give it a tin of Royal Dansk, those delicious Danish cookies, and then when they open it, make sure there's a sewing kit in it, because that's incredibly, just such a letdown. I'm probably going to have to do that same thing to Patrick. Alright guys, I will catch you on the next one. Subscribe here, subscribe to my other channel, T3 Time to Drive, and yeah, check out my personal website, thetimetellershop.com. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time, I just tell it. Now I gotta call Patrick back.